Today is so gross. It's so hot and humid because the rain is gonna come and it's all gonna be good. But I actually thought I would skip on making a vlog today at all because it's just not very interesting to just see me suffering in the heat. But we are a bit later in the afternoon, it is a bit more manageable, and suddenly a friend of mine from Norway, who actually used to live in London for a while, before we actually, well, after we met in Norway at the age of like 14, 15, she told me she's in town today if I want to meet today. Thanks for the heads up. Really, you leave the house and within 1 minute you see two guys taking a wee up the wall. Like, less than a minute of leaving the house, I have to see some guy's private parts. I don't, no thank you. So that became a rather short ordeal. I think she was going up early the next day to head to Southampton. But yeah, it got me thinking of like how we've known each other since we were teenagers, and that's kind of the case with a few people that I know in London, which is strange because I am from Norway, obviously. But when I was a teenager, I was on this online forum. It was a Norwegian forum from the Norwegian Broadcasting Company, and just with people who are into music, and it just tended to attract a lot of teenagers, and yeah, we were just a lot of people there from all over Norway. Some of us met in real life, but primarily we just sat by our computers as teenagers do. And then the forum shut down like 10 years ago, and a lot of us have just still kept in touch, just kind of casually, just kind of maybe have each other on Facebook. We have this like group that we kind of look back on like maybe every other year just to like see where we're at in life. And yeah, and then like I lived with one of them here in this very flat. I know one of them lives down in Greenwich. The one I met today, it was a friend of someone I did meet on that forum, and that's kind of how we met. And another friend of mine up in the neighboring town. Like, it's just weird how it's like that forum from way back when is still giving me some kind of network that just shows up when I least expect it. It's just kind of strange. Anyway, I don't know if you can tell, but it's raining on me. It's raining. Can you hear the little water drops? My flatmate just put up a sort of weird kind of canvas thing, so I suppose I can just sit down there. But oh my days, I am so relieved. I can tell the temperature has dropped. It's not letting go of all the humidity in my head, but still, this is good. I'm just sitting here having it rain on my mosquito bitten legs, finally. So I had some of you ask me for a guided room tour, expressing curiosity of how I can actually live in this room, in one room. Pardon the kids that are screaming outside, it's been like this every day since they got off school. Anyway, we do have a kitchen shared between 3 people. We have a bathroom and a toilet shared between 3 people, and the terrace. And other than that, it's just my room. That's the only room I really have to hang out with. Not with, it's not person. Anyway, let's have a look. Bathroom, stairs, icky storage, the room. More of the icky storage, lots of things hung on the door, anything you can imagine, from shawls to dressing gown to bags, ironing board, stuff that needs to be mailed, more stuff that needs to be mailed. A room that probably needs a little bit of tidying. Stuff I need to remember when I leave the house. Stuff I just took out of the freezer in case of moths. Funny bits and things. Remembrances, pottery mugs, love them so much. The wall binder. The fan that is temporarily out because it's been so freaking hot, in case you missed it. Calendar that the relevant month keeps falling down, but I believe we are in August. It's gonna fall down anyway. I keep my shade cards here because I look at them so much, I might as well use them for decoration. Got my printer hidden behind here somewhere. Dirty dishes. A scale to measure my yarn, which is good when you design. Peonies that were not as pretty as the ones I bought last time. The knitting books. Got some Latvian mitten boxes at the very top there. This is where my fancy yarn is. This is like future shawl yarn. This is more just hanks that are not sweater quantities. This is where my sock yarn is that isn't balled. So balls are in packing bags. This is where I keep booklets and magazines and such of knitting and a few other things. I also keep my knitting needles there. You can see there are some Lane magazine and Pom Pom and Blah Garn and Making Stories. And I keep my toiletries in here as well because they gotta go somewhere. More knitting needles, where I put my drink, and kind of pattern booklets from Norway, magazines and that kind of thing. Current projects, makeup bag. I like maps. I like the Moomins. There's no story there. Bed slash sofa, depending on the time of day or night. Where I sit with my laptop if I am not at my desk with the extra monitor, because gotta have an extra monitor. Got some plants and skeins planted in Harry Potter, Hogwarts mugs. Got my camera charger because I always need it. Got my Perdistre bag. Got my collective bag of stuff that I bought the other day. Got a mirror that I never put up on the wall because I'm not sure how to do that, because what am I, an adult? This is where I put bits and bobs. I don't even know what is in these bags. I think this is the latest yarn purchases that I've yet to file. This is where my clothes live, and yes, pretty much just clothes, not yarn, but there's yarn on top. And there's yarn here, and this is this big, where the stash is, that we haven't covered already. So there's no real system. I mean, it's just different boxes for different types of sweater quantities. It's mostly sweater quantities, and some rustic 2-ply yarn that isn't pretty enough to be in the shelf. And sock yarn that isn't pretty enough to be in the shelf. I guess it's just stuff that isn't pretty enough to be in the shelf or too big. Got more whips here. They're on these shelves. We've got some more instructional knitting books, such as, you know, stitch dictionaries and how-tos and that kind of thing. Not directly pattern books. Same with these books. More dirty dishes, more whip bags, and more whips and more books, more resource books. I tend to rejig these shelves a lot just because it's the background for the podcast. So there we are, and there I am. Hope that was illuminating. This is how I am in focus. This is how I live in one room. What else do you need, really? I don't watch telly, so I don't have a TV. I eat in here because I don't really fancy sitting in the kitchen, but there's nothing wrong with the kitchen. I could sit there, like if I had guests. Maybe I would, depending on how antisocial we're feeling, because obviously sitting in the kitchen means risk running into flatmates, and which isn't bad. I swear that girl can murder with her voice. I really look forward to when they're back in school and have bedtimes and stuff.